Yeah, so in the fitness space, because so my background is in dance. I'm a professional dancer by trade. Grew up with dance as a, I guess, training competitive dancer in my childhood. And then I went to a performing arts high school, so very much athletic, in athleticism, health, fitness, and wellness. We love that. And then once I moved to New York, that's really where I kind of shifted perspectives and I had this new passion for the cause. So there was like this flip between, or transition, I should say, between applause and cause. I was kind of over the whole like, look at me, I'm an entertainer, woo, it was fun, but there was a point where I was like, I want connection, I want community, I want to leave legacy, you know. So when I moved to New York, I was presented with an opportunity to not just dance really as a form of exercise, but to teach it to adults, which was like so cool because I've been not just a dancer, but I started teaching dance to kids at a very young age. So I had been teaching, I had been dancing, and upon moving to New York, there was this opportunity to teach dance cardio for this boutique fitness studio. Very brand new. It was only like 6 years old, like in the business. And it was called 305 Fitness. So you're a Miami girl going to New York, finding a Miami-based studio. Right. Hair flip. I was like, wait, this is it.
That's pretty interesting.
Stars
the
are
fact
aligning.
that you're saying that, I'm like shocked.
Stars are aligning. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going. So we went in. And I mean, self-explanatory. I was there for about 7 years in New York, working also with 305 Fitness. And that was a fitness class. It's a full body workout. So being in the group fitness setting, I was like, wait, I love this. I'm really interacting with people. I go home filled, like my heart is full. Also, my body feels great because I just danced and it was a workout. So it was just beautiful. And I wanted to dive in more. So upon coming back from New York, I fell more in love with fitness, honestly, based through the community. And now we're here. We're actually retraining ourselves, because part of fitness is mental health.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually first mindset, in my opinion.
I love that you said that. You know why? Because the last person I had here yesterday, we were talking about this.
Okay, hello, energy.
So the energy is flowing right
Alignment.
now.
That's
I
what
love
I'm talking
this.
about. Exactly.
I love this.
It is. It's mindset first. It's a call to action on you, on your life. So if you're not in the mindset to go to the gym, like, are you going to get up and go to the gym?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no. So you're not going to complete your sets. You're not going to complete your, right? So it's mindset. So for me, I had to let go a little bit because I had been in such a tight regimen all my life. Since I was 9 years old, I was a competitive dancer with a number attached to my chest and a bun. So by the time 2020 came, I was still in service and service behind the scenes online, still doing the fitness thing. 2021 came, knocked on my door and was like, are you going to do what everyone else did? Like, are you going to go indoors? Are you going to relax? Are you going to introspect? Are you going to disconnect? Are you going to learn new things? And that required me to honestly just, as I say in Spanish, despojarme of like all of the excess. For my non-Spanish speaking people, it's basically like just cleansing myself, ridding things that no longer just applied to me. A lot of the programming from childhood over the dance stuff. And so I let it go for like a year. I still kept my service. I still taught people at the gym, still did this, but I allowed myself to just explore new things. I wanted to eat different things. And I guess that meant I also wanted to expand my body. So that's okay because the body is made to expand and contract. It's designed for that. And I knew that. So I always felt safe in my body, even if I was in the fitness realm and I didn't look the part. I honestly didn't care because I wasn't here for me. I was here for others. And by doing that itself, I felt even more like aligned with fitness because I'm like, yeah, everyone's having a facade right now with fitness. It's aesthetic. It's actually not. That's the perk of it.
So true.
It's actually
That's
internal.
Like the bonus.
Yeah, it's the bonus. It's internal. It's here. The freedom that you're getting internally. It's an alchemization. Being able to expand, look the way that I did, and still be able to walk into a gym and have people respect the work that I'm offering or the service because of my qualifications, said it all for me. And now we're here. And now, like I said, we're here, and we're also here where I'm in a different space in my life. I value fitness in a different way. My mental health needed some time, and now we're back. And now we're back with a bang because let me tell you, like, we've been doing events. I mean, Nucleus reached out. I'm like, purple, that's my color. Like, we're in soul alignment.
We were literally like downstairs talking about that for a minute.
Purple.
It's crazy.
Royalty.
Right? royalty, fantasy, creativity.
is.
It's like
Yes.
that's I just for me. It's like immediately when I thought about when I was putting Nucleus together and we came up with the name, and the reason why I love Nucleus and came up is because it's the core. It's where everything starts, and then from there it expands. And
Your logo. Oh my gosh.
and that's why I
yes.
thought about Nucleus, and then purple was just exactly what we were talking about now. And I was like,
Wow.
and it stands out. And it's one of those things I always say, like, purple's an interesting color. Like when you use it for like a brand or a company, like you always like if you use it wrong, it's gonna look tacky.
This is so true.
But if you use it right, it's gonna
Man,
pop.
boom. That's what listen, the sauce is here. That's all I'm going to say. Boom, next question. Like, really, it is. I'm just waiting for it.
Oh my God, no, this is awesome. No, it's just so crazy because it's like, just the feedback you've been giving me already about the space and all that stuff. Honestly, it's like really fulfilling to just constantly hear, things that people have been saying, over and over and over again. And I know it's one of those things as we're growing, it's patience with urgency. But it's always good to when you hear people and they walk in, it's like, I feel good, I like this. And,
Yeah.
and that's what we want to get every
Listen,
time.
to the person who says it doesn't matter what people think of you or say to you, yes, to a certain extent. But also, when you hear the words that are validating what you're doing, those are messages. Those are universal messages lining up for you. You take it or you leave it. That's a personal choice. But you're taking the choice to take it and be like, okay, so I'm flowing and I'm listening and I'm doing. And now while I'm doing that, there's people coming forward also saying, yes, 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 keep going, keep doing it. And these are just little messengers.
And I love that you say that because like it all goes back to the mindset stuff.
Totally.
Like all of this goes back to that. And
Totally.
and it just makes a huge shift in how you're receiving, from who you're receiving, what you're allowing to be received, what you're not. And then also as well, like what you're putting back out.
1,000%.
It's
What you're putting back out. Exactly.
It's crazy. So let's dive a little bit more about the mindset component and how do you utilize it when it comes to what you're doing? Because I think it's so important for people to realize again that health and fitness is not just physical. There's so much more to it, and mindset's a huge piece.
Correct. So, where do I start with this? My personal branding, I like to call it fitness mystic because I believe that the human needs a wellness regimen. And it's not just physical. It's not just fitness and then nutrition. There's mindset component to that. And then there's your connection to your vitality, your connection to this reality, whatever that is for you. It's not religious. It's just a spiritual, as we call it, spiritual. So that aspect is what we tap into within my branding. How it incorporates or how I incorporate it into my workflow or my service. Basically, you'll experience that very soon. But essentially, I like to say that when we are together in class, we're practicing. We're practicing being less apologetic because for some of us, it's hard coming out into a group fitness class or just going out to the gym and being seen. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing and I'm being looked at and so we're now living our experience by the eyes of someone else.
True.
Whoa, that's not okay, right? Live your life. So the class itself that I provide, whatever it is, if it's sculpt, if it's dance cardio, if it's Pilates, I always want the person to leave feeling, confident, having that self-love and having joy really from the class. So the way that I design it is so that they kind of liberate themselves and I feel like I'm carrying them throughout the class. So it's also important to note that, like we said, mindset comes first. So whenever I'm speaking to them, let's say throughout cool down, those are one of the things that I will mention throughout class is like, take a look at yourself in the mirror. How often do you do this? How often do you thank yourself? And some are like, oh my God, I don't ever thanking myself for what? It's like, no, so mindset is important. Why are you here? Why are you taking this class? Sometimes you go to the gym and you take class and yes, it's for the body and you're like, I feel good. My butt feels tight and I'm sweating and I feel swole, flex. But then there's other times where you're like, I just needed to like move my body. I just needed to like, sweat. I needed to like not think about what I've been thinking about or what I'm stressed about. And I can't believe that I completely forgot about that. I was so stressed about that. That's interesting. So if I can do that, I hold the capacity to be able to have a spectrum with how I control my emotions, my focus. So fitness is beyond just athleticism, right? And athleticism, even further, it incorporates the mindset because the athlete embodies all of that. And that's kind of how I look at fitness, really, first through mindset. I'm not the harsh teacher. I will always say this. I am probably your most unorthodox fitness instructor.
You used one of my favorite words.
Unorthodox.
So my two of my favorite words that I used to always say all the time when people ask me like coaching style, I said unconventional, unorthodox. That was
Love.
my two. So
Yeah.
I'm like, you when you said that, it was like,
Once again, we're here. I love this. Exactly. I'm just, yeah, calm. And I had to. It took some time, like we were talking about for Nucleus. It takes time for you to really feel your branding or feel your values or walk the walk, talk the talk, and be like, well, okay, I don't like that, or I like that one. Oh, I feel that one. So over time, it felt like that for me. I was like, no, I just need to feel safe in this space. And if I'm expecting my people to come forward and be unapologetic and also maybe one day give 10% and the other day give 100%, then what kind of coach am I going to be? Because it's mindset for me. For other coaches, it's like, no, you need to build that body. You need to build that strength. And that's not wrong. I'm not saying that's wrong. That's great. As long as you are authentic to your mission and intention, I think you're doing a hell of a job, man. To all of you, doing a hell of a job. Personally, for me, it's mindset. So I go into every class with that first. So I always tell everybody as a preface, if you want to go 10%, go 10%. If you want to go 100%, go 100%. Whatever you need. If you need water, go get water. If you need to make a phone call, go make a phone call. Because it's autonomy that I'm also enabling and helping people to realize. So for me, that's kind of like how I incorporate mindset. Yeah, I guess if anything else comes up, I'll probably share.
which is really interesting. Now it's like, so when people have that choice, right? To hey, I'm going to take it 10%. I'm going to take it 100. Where in obviously you're leading a group of people. So where in there, how do you make the changes? Well, in that class, right? As if somebody's, how do you lead? How do you is it you're regressing what they're doing while the other one's being progressed? Like, how are you managing that? It's just interesting to hear that.
I love that. I've never been asked that. It's so cool, you guys. Anthony Mendez. So that's interesting, and I actually deal with that all the time because of what I say, right? So for instance, I'll give you an example. Maria comes to class. At this point, I know Maria, and I'm going to give you two examples. One, that's Maria, who I know, and let's use Caitlin, who I don't know, right? Maria comes to class. I know Maria. Maria's my usual. That's my girl. She comes. She knows what the deal is. She knows we got a program. She gets it. She twerks. She works out. So I know Maria. I know what Maria's capable of at this point. If Maria comes walking through the door and she's like disheveled, she barely made it. Girl's exhausted. She's just happy she's here. I'm just happy she's here too. So a little push, yes, throughout class because I'm an instructor and I'm a coach. So of course, you got this. Come on, let's go. Push, push. But I'm not going to go up to her and sit right next to her and be like, let's go. Because it defeats the purpose of community and building collaboration. Because that's what sometimes I think instructors forget or coaches forget is there's this relation to each other. We're working together. Now, Caitlin comes in. I don't know who Caitlin is. Hey, girl, what's up? Let me give you a little preface, introduction into what this class is about. My name is Ledon. We got 45 minutes together, blah, blah, blah. Do you have any injuries? No injuries. Awesome. I got to make sure of that.
Oh, yeah.
Also, she could be, I don't know if I can curse on this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if she's half-assing. And if she is, that's okay. But is it because of an injury? Is it because you're going 10%? Is it because you're going 100? All of that I can inquire at the beginning of class. Do you have an injury? No, I don't. Okay. Awesome. How was your day today? Easily. Oh, it was okay. It was okay. Oh, I'm getting notice already there. It was okay. Eye roll, just gestural. And obviously we're all not all like this. I get that. But I'm talking about me and how I am, and I know my design. So if Caitlin comes forward like that, I can already say, for example, Caitlin's showing up. This is her first time here. I'm not going to battle her. She's first getting acquainted with everything. The program itself, the people, the music, me, my voice, my tone, everything. Everything is new to her. She's a puppy in a new home. On top of that, I asked her how her day was, and she was kind of like, it was okay, eye roll. Another person who's happy to just be here.
Yeah.
Okay. So I might just actually call Caitlin out for the first time in class, but tell her, let's go. Yes, Caitlin, get it. And that might be enough and suffice for her, and for me, honestly, as well, because I'm just glad that Caitlin gave this a try. And at the end of class, I'll make sure to give her a high five and say, awesome job today. Next week, feel free to up the weights or keep them the same. And that's the way that I do it. I place the autonomy to the client. Yes, I'm a coach, but I know my boundaries within my design. Again, people are different. There are some coaches that they run and their gasoline is through their solar plexus, through the let's effing go. To me, my effing go is let's turn up.
Yeah.
Put up the volume, get a little more loose. That's different intention than flexing and lifting that heavy ass weight and be like, let's fucking go. That's going in hard. That's different. So for me, I kind of just, I guess, yes, I read the person to a certain extent. Now, if Maria's great, and if Maria, I know, is doing great, she dressed up from head to toe. She came to this class ready for a selfie. She's doing great. She's killing it. At the end of class, I see her kind of tapping out. No, I'm going to go right next to Maria because I know her energy. And I'm going to be like, she's doing good today. She came in on like a firecracker. She's been doing the whole class like almost at 100%. So at this end game right here, the final push, I'm not going to just be like, great job, Maria, as I see you tap out. No, tampoco así. Not like that either. I'll walk right next to her and be like, let's go, Maria, you got this. Come on. Small, right? Small little push, but nonetheless a little push and still validating her experience. So that's kind of how like I do it. There's no pressure in my class. You're here for yourself. I'm just here to guide you.
I like it. You guys see that? You see the coach that you're going to have for the your 2 classes coming up July 20th? Come on now.
Yeah, you guys, listen, my classes they're parties. They're parties.
Ooh,
and then
like
we
that.
just get like really
that.
sweaty. You come as you are, right? Like it really doesn't matter to me if you do
Sweaty
10%
hugs
or
and
100%.
all.
Yeah, as long as you're, oh my God, we do. And we take sweaty selfies afterwards, so do not leave.
Remember, it is a Sizzle party, so.
We're sizzling. We will be.
So I love all this. I love that you're saying all this because I think as you break it down and people actually start understanding, because I think sometimes people, you look at the coach and it's like, oh, the coach is just coach, but there's so much more to what you're doing and why you're doing it, the way you're doing it, the way you explained. And sometimes people don't realize that as the attendee, right? And there's so much more to it. And this is what I want to ask you is, for you, what is your outlet? Because you're taking in so many different energies. You're dealing with a lot of different personalities. You're absorbing a lot of that because you are leading that.
So true.
So with that, your sessions after for yourself can be different every time.
Exactly.
So like, what do you do when you need to like,
yep,
I gotta release, I gotta go do something for me now because you've absorbed all these different energies.
100%. You know what's funny, Anthony, is that a lot of people ask me this, like a lot of my clients ask me this because they see that I'm such a high energetic person. So even from that, they're like, what do you do when you're not like high energy, or are you like this all the time? The sun comes out of my ass a lot. Yes, I'm a very, very happy person. I'm a very excited person. I'm excitable. I have high energy, but I also need my recovery.
Totally.
I also need my downtime. And I'm going to bring back my brand, Fitness Mystic, because when you really get to know me, as Anthony's starting to get to know me, I'm actually very much an esoteric person. I do love to lean into the quantum of this reality and talk about the science of it, but more so the energetics of it, philosophies and all of that, So for me, kind of like disconnecting from the fitness stuff or from the energetics, right? The people and all that, I kind of bring it all back in because what I do is very out. Hello. And also we're doing event spaces. We're doing a lot of activations these days. Like one of my other, it was huge, right? Like huge. We've done some that like have up to like 500 people. So yeah, exactly. Like how do we recover from that? So for me, it would be a combination of things. It depends again what I'm in the mood for, but a lot of it is I think like intellectual stimulation. I know it sounds so bizarre, but again, I'm like the most unorthodox, I think, like instructor. Maybe I'm not. If you're out there, come on, bond, let's go, let's connect, let's build a community of us. But yeah, for me, it's like not doing the physical.
Yeah.
Or if it is, because again, we're all different. So sometimes I need to be fed intellectually, emotionally. Other times I'll need to be fed, physically, but it'll be not in a high impact or like in a sculpting class or like a toning class. It'll be probably like a very, very passive, deep stretch. Something that I created called intuitive stretch, which is a subset of Fitness Mystic for people to have a space to be able to stretch and also ground their energy and think about their thoughts without just sitting there in meditation, because that's intimidating. So the stretch allows us to kind of just like, oh yeah, okay, I see this, I feel this. That wasn't too tough. It kind of gives us that breath. So I kind of stretch. If it's physical, I stretch. If it's not, it's intellectual. And I'll just do research.
It's like listening to what you need. That's literally it.
Just listen to what you need. And like sometimes we're living, again, through the lens versus the heart or in the body. And I think that a lot of what I'm trying to do is bring that mind and body coherence through the heart, through tapping in the heart, like the inner child. Like, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. It can be, but it's also not all the time.
Very powerful. Very, very powerful. So for you, like, what would you like to see change in the, health and fitness wellness space? Like, for you personally, what would you like to see change? And the change, when I say change, why do you want to see it change? What would you like to see change?
Yes.
Why would you like to see it change?
Okay, well, I'm going to preface this really quickly before I lose my train of thought. But essentially, I love that you're asking this question, and I don't know if we can say where we're at. Miami, Florida.
Yeah.
Okay. We're in Miami, Florida. And the reason why I'm going to bring that up is because, isn't it great? Is because a lot of people have asked me, like, have you seen any changes in Miami since you're back? Because I was born here, you guys, born and raised, but I was reborn in New York, as I like to say. When I came back, man, things just changed. The infrastructure changed. Like, the intention changed. It is a fitness mecca now here. It is insane.
I think 2 years in a row, we were number one.
Like, New York was the mecca for fitness while I was there. And then I came here and it was like, no, actually, let's change it.
Oh, so wait, you're bringing it. Is that what's going on? Is that what's going on?
I didn't say it like that.
I think you.
What the heck?
Is that what you're trying to say?
Energetics. Come on now. Purple energy. You see, it's powerful. But I would love to see, like, this continue. It's just really amazing. Before we had Beachbody, and everyone was like,
right.
It's Miami. It's like, no. Beachbody is on the beach in Muscle Beach. And everyone who did Beachbody at the beach, or maybe grabbed the DVDs, because at that time it was all the way, it was different. And now, so accessibility is what I want to see. I also want to see innovation of fitness. So what I'm doing, steps is a new thing for me. And I'm going to elaborate. I want to see more stepping classes, and not like stepping like step aerobics, although that would be freaking cool too. And
Throw
actually a
back
little
to
bit
my
more.
mom.
Shout out, mom. Hola, mami. Mrs. Mendez.
Well, no, not anymore.
Okay, well, mom. Miss Anthony.
Miss Grova, that's her name.
Yes, to Miss Grova. Shout out. I love that, though, steps aerobics. Like just innovating it, because not everyone wants to lift weights. Not everyone wants to dance with me. Not everyone wants to dance, period. Not everybody wants to go into a Pilates class. Not everybody, like, we need to widen the fitness to not look like something and not just be something. I get that the trend right now, whenever you watch this at this moment, the trend is Pilates.
That is a trend right now that you're saying that. It's funny that you bring that up.
Yeah, it's very trendy. It's cute, love that for us, because it's really the females, the femme, right, that we're really enjoying that. But I would like to see, like, something more accessible for people to, what's the first step into fitness? If someone walks into a gym, has never had any athleticism really, like, involved in their life, they're not really movers, they don't even have any reverence or respect or even real interest in health and fitness, because there's health, there's fitness, there's nutrition, right, if we really dissect everything. But the fitness, is that what you're saying? I would love for there to be, like, this very easy, walkable, like, you can just walk in from, like, you just parked your car and, like, you walked into the studio and you're just still walking kind of thing. Very simple, very easy. Anybody can do it as long as you have 2 feet, you can stand, and you can listen and follow.
Yeah.
And what I do is high impact dance cardio. So I learned, because as a dancer professionally, I was like, competition, entertainment on stage, performance, look at me. And then as I went on to do the fitness thing, I was like, wait, F that. How about let's make a whole, like, performance here with all of us? Like, we were 9 years old in a slumber party, and this is a group fitness class now, right? And that was fun. Ultimately, I realized as I came back to Miami, everything in that boutique fitness studio that I was doing for dance, New Yorkers are a different energy. Those people will wake up at 6 in the morning and take a dance cardio class at 7 a.m. Man, sold out, by the way. Shout out to 305 Fitness. Coming here, it was a different modality, different machine, different monster. Slower monster, more calmer monster, coastal, chill. So I would say that I learned how to, like, chill the ego. This is not about high kicks, mama. This is about moving your body and following and trying to keep up. So AKA endurance, cardio 101. So that allowed me to be like, what am I doing in this class? Like, I'm a lead here. How can I serve this community to get an effective workout? Because obviously they're not kicking their legs as high. I get that. Maybe the one girl, maybe that Maria, right?
Shout out to Maria.
Shout out to Maria.
Shout out Maria. Are you going to be at the event? We going to see you? Am I going to meet you there?
Come through. You know what I mean? Like, Are we gonna see you at the event? Come through. Come on. So, for me, it's like finding something or creating that innovation, which is already starting. There's steps workout out there. There's a lot of people on YouTube that, through the pandemic, they've created these kinds of things. But those are just very minimal outlets. But things that can be also incorporated at the gyms,
Yeah.
or even through private event activations, wellness stuff like, hey, we're going to try something completely new. You have never had to have had lifted a weight for this. And you don't even have to have rhythm. You can have 2 left feet. All we're doing is stepping in place, side to side, forward and back for 30 minutes. And you're going to see how you're going to sweat just by doing that. Because I'll be honest, I'm trying to get into the Apple Watch. Can't do it. I'm trying. But it tells you all your steps.
Yeah.
And all of my clients have that. So at the end of my classes, they're all like,
Steps. Let me look at the
God,
steps.
Ivy, do you know that we did 6,000 steps today? I'm like, what? In 45 minutes?
You're like, hold up.
What? I'm not a step person. I don't count stuff.
I laugh because I'm like, do you remember that whole craze back in like 2013, 14, 15? It was like the Fitbits. And it was like that little one, like that 2-year Fitbit craze. Everybody the steps and then like died out.
You just
Like,
so hard.
It's wild, right? And then it
the
died.
Fitbit.
And then it came back strong with like Apple now. With the Apple and then, oh yeah.
Wait, why did I just do that? Do you remember this?
You're talking about the polar heart rate strap.
Stop. You even said the title. Man, you were in
Let's
it.
go.
Shout out Anthony Mendez. He knows what he's talking about. Oh my gosh. Yes, I remember I had that.
Yeah.
It was to monitor my heart rate to see, if I was at that BPM to lose the weight, right? Back in the days, because that's how we had to do things, write things out. I'm no longer like that. I'm the kind of bitch that like, don't put me on a scale. I don't care how many calories I'm burning or eating, to be honest. And you're like, oh my God, but you're a fitness instructor. You're a coach. That's terrible. When I'm in the mindset to lose weight, to train my body to look like a certain way, yes, that's discipline and that's consistency. You need to do that. I'm not going around it.
It's a goal you want to achieve now. It's as I always say, it's like, this is your goal. This is what you're doing. Does it match what your goal is? So you're not going to get to your goal. Doesn't mean that necessarily. Now, if you don't care about them, there's something else that doesn't mean you're right or wrong.
Exactly.
But if you're telling me this is your goal, then that doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
It's literally how it is. That's
just to put that into perspective, the last year, 2021, when it knocked on my door, I literally was like, F the steps, F the calories, F all of that, the scale. I just want to feel good. I just want to be. I want to experience. Now, as I'm training again, guess what? I'm getting back into that modality. But even then, there's a spectrum for me because I felt so good in that freedom that now I'm more of like an intuitive eater. I'm more of like, so I'm listening to my body, like, do I actually need to eat right now? Or is it because my schedule is telling me I need to eat so that I can quicken my metabolism? So it's like, that's where I'm at right now. And it's almost like I honestly go by my clothes. So like I'm a very open person. I'm usually like a size 6, 8 at max. She's Latina, okay. If we're past that, then I need to consider my health because I don't feel comfortable enough anymore, really, in my body. It's not because I look terrible. It's not because I'm not going to go on a date. It's not because like I'm not, advertisable or whatever. I still work at these establishments. It's just that health-wise, like I need to consider my health. My knees, hello, after jumping all day, cannot be a little bit overweight. Because
here's the thing: it doesn't matter how the weight is. You can be massively overjacked dude putting on all this weight. It's gonna still take a toll on your joints.
Exactly. So it's just a matter of like intuitive listening to yourself, knowing why you're doing what you're doing. Again, through the lens, through the eyes, or from the heart, or in the body, like that difference. So, yeah, and for me now, I'm just kind of like, I am ready to train again. So again, we're going back into that modality. We have a regimen. I'm working with a trainer. Shout out Nina.
Shout out.
And she's intuitive AF also, which I mean, how many times have I said the word, right, guys? Like I think you understand now. Like I am that kind of person. So I wanted someone to mirror that for me. Not someone who's gonna be like, listen, you want to lose the weight? It's gonna be this. You got to do this 5 times. Let's go. No, I don't care. No mercy for you. It works for some people. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
It does not work for me. I needed her to be like, you're going to start off slow. It's going to make sense. You're already at the gym teaching at this time. You're going to stay there for just an extra hour and do this. Wow, makes sense. Natural flow. So this is how I'm getting back into it. I could literally show you a picture of like, I think I was like 24% body fat. It was ridiculous. Like 6-pack. I never even had, Anthony, if I told you, I never had biceps. Like my arms were always, even as a dancer, it was just like right arms. And as dancers, if you're a dancer, like, right? You just know I did the Tina. And so when I got into that shape, I was like, wait a minute, I'm capable of this. This is insane. So it's like I knew I was able to conquer that. So I think that at a subconscious level, I allowed myself to kind of expand to do this again, like to have fun, because like this is what we're here for, to experience. So now we're
You
there.
learn a lot from
Yeah.
it.
Now we are training. Now we are doing little like now we're adding, heavier weights. Also had a little bit of an injury, slight injury. So I had to, take some time off, and that changes also your regimen and your flow. But no, now we're ready. We're ready, man. We're really wanting to this, because I also do want to be a leader, and I also want to show up as my best self. I allowed myself to be for a year, and I'm okay with that. I have grace for myself, but like I also have love for myself,
Love that.
and I want the best for me.
And you know what? I always say that it's through those experiences and learning lessons that's what makes you a better coach. Because if you don't go through these things, how can you go and be a better coach?
Right.
Because you're going to face different personalities, different type of people, and something you might have faced during that time could now help that other person that maybe if you met them at a different time, you could have not helped them.
Do you know how many women from New York we've stayed friends with, obviously on socials, and throughout the years, right? My body has changed. How many women have reached out to me, not out of concern, out of inspiration, I'm like, how, like, I didn't think this was going to turn around this way. But all of them, the same response or same inquiry, like, Ivy, you are always beautiful, right? They always preface it with that. And thank you. That's very sweet of you. But I know what the message is, right? Like, how are you okay with expanding that large or that big, right? How are you okay with, just your clothes? How do you still show up for yourself? How do you still show up for work, especially in the field that you're in? How do you just hair flip, like knowing that you've expanded and like society doesn't, like how? I'm like, it's grace, like, and I'm teaching them. So like you said, like, you're right. This is my form of coaching.
Yeah.
It's not really so much in like, you're going to lift this dumbbell, 3 sets of 12. And when you're done, 50 burpees, come back up, repeat. We're going to move over. Like, that's just not my method. I can do it, obviously,
And there's no one size fits all. There's so many
Exactly.
different ways to do things. There's so many different ways to feel good, and how you show up and how you do things and why you're doing them and what you're doing them for.
Yeah.
And then there's times where, of course, you're always going to have, again, it goes back to like, I know my limit. I know at one point, okay, I can't get myself past this.
Exactly.
You kind of put that where it's like, okay, this is my threshold. Let me see what I need to do to control this. And it's just when you start setting that, that's when the, that's when the responsibility kicks in.
Yes.
Where it's like,
that's honestly how it happened. That's crazy you're saying that. Like, and also I just want to, side note, I want to thank Anthony for doing this, because like, I feel that this is such a great opportunity for others who are like me to just own it, because fitness is only looked at in one way, and like, it's not that way, guys. And shout out also to, I'm just going to say it, shout out to anatomy, because in spite of my changes, physically speaking, they knew my qualifications, period. It was never a bother to them. It was never So they understood at the underline that this is all part of the game, transformation.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
That's literally what it is.
So thank you for also bringing that topic up and allowing me to speak, because, man, like, if you would have spoken to me maybe in a year from now, I am going to be in that, right, percent body fat, which I'm not even looking at that anymore, but I will be more toned, I will be more defined, because that is the plan, that's the goal. But we're in that transition phase, and it's beautiful to see it, because we are coming from one side of experience to now a new one. And yeah, being in the middle is the unorthodox space, right? I was already fit. I allowed myself to expand. Now we're here to retrain. Wow, interesting. I didn't really see it like that until you kind of said that, like how I'm leading or coaching others in that way. So yeah, not just mindset in fitness, but mindset in how you look at yourself in fitness.
That's the mystic.
We need like a little interlude. Wow, like a little wind chime.
Oh, there you go.
God.
That'll be the intro.
Cool. Oh my God. Right? That'd be so cool.
So what are you personally looking forward to the most? As we start wrapping this up, like, what does Ivy want to get out of this? As far as like, what are you looking forward to the most? Like, what are you most excited about doing this event and this experience?
Oh my God. Okay, to be honest with you, I'm really, really excited to share the joy.
I like that.
Like that I have when I'm in that space. I've been, I think I told you, BTS. Um, when I'm doing these events, these coordinators, these directors of these great events, it's just like they just come out and I'm like, are they all uniting at a table talking the same thing? Because it's kind of weird how they all just use the word activator.
Recruit Ivy for my next event.
Literally, like they're like they use the word activator, like activation, and it's very true. Like I do feel like I'm activated in that moment, connecting with so many people, and then just to and I'm in that vibration, I'm in that frequency, I'm in that joy, and that's palpable. So and it's reversal too. Like if I'm attending something of yours and you have that joy within you, I'll feel that. Like we'll feel that. So I think it's that I want to connect with you. I want to meet you. I want to connect with you. I want to share the joy and the like, how do I say it? Like the more presentable, more like low key, relaxed, fun aspect of fitness. Because there's other things, modalities that you can tap into. There are instructors, there are coaches. Hello. That will be like, let's go, pick up that weight. Love that. I need them too. I'm just not that way. So what I like to bring to the table is that building of community and like that rapport of like, this is fun. Don't forget that. So I'm mostly excited for that, for us to party. Basically.
It is going to be a party. It is.
I just want to party.
Yeah, hey, why not? We're in the 305.
Right.
Let's have a good time.
Hello, let's go.
I loved it. Why haven't you started your own show? You need a show.
Oh my gosh, listen. I mean, maybe this is the beginning of it.
Maybe. We'll call it the Mystique Activator.
You heard it here first.
Come on.
That's it. I'm down. Sold and booked. Ready to get Oh my gosh, I love this. Wait, for real, I'm down for it. There's a lot of things that we can talk about,
That'd be fun.
in that realm. So yeah.
Love this. You guys heard it. Well, we're excited. I appreciate you. I literally can't wait. And I know as I'm running around, I'm going to take a moment to like jump in, just to like be in it for like 5 minutes at least.
Yeah.
As I'm running around, just to experience it.
Can't wait.
And then I'm going to get a high five from you.
Absolutely. Yes. And don't forget sweaty selfies after each class.
Sweaty selfies.
Yeah.
Guys.
Evidence or it never happened.
Exactly.
That's what I'd say.
So where can people find you and connect with you?
Oh my gosh, you guys. So you can find me on Instagram mainly at Ivy Ledon. That's IvyLedon. So you'll find all of the things that I post with, fitness events. They'll be there. I am actually building a YouTube channel. So you're talking about like, podcast and all that stuff. Not really a podcast, but kind of like a space, fitness mystic space. So it's a platform of wellness, merging the physical and the non-physical, so spiritual, right? Wellness, hence fitness mystic. So there's a variety of options there for the person who's looking to either ground themselves, empower themselves through movement, activate themselves, right? Through like this like really hard, like high BPM kind of energy, or stretch, or pick up an oracle reading. Hello. And get into even more of the mystical things. So you can find me on YouTube also at Fitness Mystic. That would be incredible if you guys can follow. Also check out your reading, your sign reading, because what I do is I read for your sign, generally speaking, right, for each month. And then I recommend for your sign what would be best for you in movement, like as a therapy. So sometimes for the month, it may be something high impact, like to get the energy out, kickboxing, boxing in general, lifting weights, right? And then other times it's like, oh man, no, this month for you is like, let's slow down, let's introspect, let's chill. So maybe consider taking a stretch class on the channel. If you want to work with me personally, you can also. You can send me an email at fitnessmystichq@gmail.com. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys, hit me up. Hit me up. Let's get together.
You guys heard it from Ivy herself. Guys, when you're number one in the city. Oh, there we go with my ringtone.
That's the chime. That's the chime. You guys heard it here first.
The chime kicked in. When you're number one in your city in New York, and you come over here and Miami becomes number one, I don't know. That tells me something. So.
That is really freaky that you said that. You put those two together, and I swear I was not trying to say it like that. My gosh, but wow.
So you guys gotta come over here. We're gonna have a good time.
Yes.
We're gonna take sweaty selfies, and we're gonna sizzle up. So July 20th, I want to see you there. Please connect with Ivy.
Yes.
She's amazing.
Let's do it, baby.
And we're gonna have fun. Till next time.